Anton, thanks for jumping on to the pod, bro.
Thank you.
Man, so I'm actually I think today's conversation, I'm fizzing for it. I think what you do is awesome. I think your heart for people is epic. To also know a little bit of your journey, but then also be able to watch the journey unfold over the last couple of years has been pretty epic to watch as well. Obviously, big supporter of Fush. I think when we lived in Wigram, bro, it was like, cool, where we're going tonight, or has to be Fush, or has to be Joe's, because
I appreciate
got
the
to support
bro.
the locals,
Yeah,
man, you know?
yeah.
I'm pumped. Obviously, a lot of people do know a little bit about what you do. Man, over the years, from the outset,
Mhm.
it looks like, bro, like Fush is really killing it out here, right? Obviously, you're walking in the trenches of everything, so you know what it really feels like.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know much about who you are, though, the man behind what they see.
Yeah.
And so obviously in this part of me, it's called Triggered, it's here to really see the journey. People get triggered because of the experience, not just because I get triggered. So I actually know there's this experience that goes behind.
Yep.
And so, man, I love today, man, we're just going to kind of explore a lot more around.
Unpack it all.
Yeah, unpack it all.
Cool.
Like what's been the journey up until now. And we'll dive into some things. You're human, right? Which means, bro, you feel stuff.
Of course.
People say stuff. It impacts what you do with that. I think it's going to be epic, bro. But today, I'm going to kick it off for the people that don't know you.
Yep.
Or don't know much about you. Could you give us just a quick 5-minute origin? Bro, grew up here, went here, family dynamics, married, kids, business, all
just a short
bam
summary.
Bam. Yeah, bro.
Okay, cool. Well, Anton is my name, Anton Matthews. Born here in Ōtautahi in Christchurch.
Yep.
So Christchurch Women's. Grew up in a loving household, mum and dad. An amazing example for me. I look back on that privilege of just having such an amazing example of what love is, and typical middle class whānau, never wanted for anything. I have a brother, a sister, so there's 3 of us, mum and dad. Yeah, we had an awesome childhood. One of the things I became kind of aware of pretty early on in my life was that my father in particular was really keen to sort of break a cycle of violence in his whānau. So he was very clear that he would never hit me, never laid hands on me. So growing up, that was my experience, was just love, surrounded by love, always held to account. But never ever was struck or hit. And
awesome.
And I'm grateful for that, because that's just, I know that that's not the life that my father grew up with. And so he made a real deliberate effort to break that cycle. And I admire him a lot for that.
Yeah, awesome.
Mum and dad, so mum's Pākehā, dad's Māori. So that's why I look, as fair as I too. One of the other things that was a real sort of watershed moment in my life was that they made a decision early to put me into an education system where I was able to learn and be exposed to te reo Māori and te ao Māori.
Cool.
And that was pretty unusual back then.
Stop on that. So can you explain the difference between te reo and te ao Māori?
Yeah, so te reo Māori being the language, te ao Māori being, I guess, the world view and all the traditions and and protocols and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm sort of 3 years old. They put me into kohanga reo, which is, I suppose, like any normal early childhood, except it had a te ao Māori focus. And our kaiako, our teachers, spoke to us in te reo Māori. Still had mat time, still finger painting and ate our lunch and had a sleep in the afternoon. But it was all done through that te ao Māori lens, and I didn't know anything different. So that was the world I grew up in. And then I went to kura kaupapa Māori, which is I guess where you graduate from kohanga, you go on to primary school.
Yeah.
But I was once again immersed in te ao Māori, speaking te reo Māori every single day. So from 9 till 3, that was my world. And again, didn't know anything different. I look back on those days and I'm just immensely grateful, because it really helped me to build the confidence that I now carry with me today in te ao Māori. And obviously it gave me skills to be able to speak te reo Māori. And so very, very grateful for that. That wasn't something that I chose. I was a kid. My mum and dad chose against actually a lot of advice from people to put me into that system.
True.
Yeah, and it really gave me the confidence to be who I am today. When my dad was in the military, so that's how we ended up down here in Ōtautahi. Mum and dad actually grew up in the North Island, but he was posted down here to Burnham military camp.
Yep.
And then I came shortly after that, and so that's
True.
how and we just haven't left. That's how our whānau ended up down here. So another really cool experience that I had growing up was my whānau, because dad was in the army, we got the opportunity to go overseas, and he was serving in the United Nations, so peacekeeping.
Yep.
Still as part of the New Zealand Army, but was posted overseas. And so we spent some time in Israel, a place called Tiberias. That's where my sister was born, and in Syria and Damascus.
Wow.
So we sort of split our time. And again,
how long were you guys there?
Just over a year. It was a year posting, so a little bit either side.
Yes.
But had the opportunity to just see the world, really, a part of the world that I haven't even been back to.
Well, it's a part of the world most people don't ever get to see.
Yeah, exactly. And I was 7-ish, something like that. Didn't know my privilege, but got to see just immense poverty. People living in mud huts. They have nothing. The entertainment for the village is a sweatshirt with some sellotape around it, and that becomes the ball.
Yeah.
They have nothing, but these are some of the happiest, most polite people you'll ever meet. And you walk around and there are people that are missing limbs because there are landmines that are dotted all over the place and no one knows where they are. There's signs everywhere. It says danger, mines. But these people have no choice. They have to go into the fields. They have sheep, they have goats, and every now and then they step on a landmine and it goes boom.
Wow.
So, walking through Israel and you see kids as young as, from memory, 12, carrying around M16s, dressed in military gear.
Crazy.
That was normal, man. And I didn't, and so I never felt unsafe because we were looked after and protected pretty well. But I got to see some of that stuff.
100%.
And come back to New Zealand, you just have a whole new appreciation for
what you have.
This is the best place in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, that was my childhood, man. I grew up, played rugby league. I loved sports. During high school, I went to Christchurch Boys. That was a real culture shock for me, having gone from a very small te reo Māori speaking kura.
Bro, to Christchurch Boys?
To Christchurch Boys.
Whoa.
First time I ever wore a school uniform.
Wow.
Very traditional all-boys school. In some ways, they have their own tikanga, their own traditions, but they were just different from what I knew. And so a bit of a culture shock. Went from being in a very small little pond to all of a sudden being in this massive ocean. And no one knows who you are. They don't like rugby league. Well, they didn't back then. That was the world that I came from. So I had to fall in love with rugby.
Gotcha.
But made some amazing friends. I learned a whole heap. And I look back on that time and go, I had the best of both worlds. I was able to be immersed in te ao Māori and become culturally really confident and strong in who I was and my identity as a Māori person. But then I also had the opportunity to walk in this decile 10, very, very wealthy school. And that taught me a lot as well. So I just had the most amazing childhood. Like I said, it started at home. So much aroha, amazing role models. Never wanted for anything. I made a couple of rep teams growing up, and not once did I ever feel like I wouldn't be able to go on the trip to Wellington or I even had the opportunity to go to South Africa.
True.
Yeah, when I was at Christchurch Boys, we were under 16s, we went to South Africa, and I know now as an adult how expensive those trips are, but mum and dad I never felt that burden. They just always made it happen. And so, man, it's just so lucky.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Blessed.
And that support has always just carried on.
Yeah, wow.
So fortunate in so many ways to just have people around me who are just ride or dies. They just got my back. And I've made stupid mistakes and they've always been there to support me and pull me up and go, all right, let's learn from it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Whenever we've gone into business, they've always been there, to help clean up, to help do whatever it takes, and just so grateful.
Big supporters. Yeah, I love that, bro.
And
I know you go.
No, I was just going to say, sorry, I'm taking a bit long, but after high school, I went to university, mainly because I didn't really know what to do, and that kind of was the proper thing to do. You leave high school, you go to
Yeah.
university. I got a degree in Te Reo Māori. That came easy to me,
Yes.
for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And so university wasn't really a struggle for me. I cruised through that. And then I got to the end and kind of went, well, now what? Um, Cut a long story short, decided I would go and become a kayako, a teacher. So I went and did a post-grad qual and
True.
became a high school teacher. Yep. I went back to Christchurch Boys, taught there for a couple of years.
Wow, I did
And
not know this, bro.
yeah, went back to Christchurch Boys, taught there for a couple. I was young, I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
Loved aspects of it, hated other aspects of it. The admin, just I couldn't do it, and I still can't do it. Like I'm still not cut out for
Like
admin.
lesson plans and stuff?
Lesson plans, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I wish we had AI back then because that would have made my
True.
life a lot easier. But when you actually have to sit down and manually write it all out, and
Yes.
it just wasn't for me. And a couple of clashes of personality, and so I just decided, yep, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I would go into the staff room and just listen to some of the kōrero, some of the
Yes.
conversations that were going on about some of the students. And I was like, man, these are good kids. And
Yeah.
you guys are, some of you, not all of them,
Yes.
just some were just talking smack. And I was just like, this is such a shit environment. I don't want
Yeah.
to be, I couldn't imagine myself being 60 and still here. So I was like, nah, I got to get out of
Gotta
here.
get out of here.
Yeah. And I said to my wife, who at that stage we had been married for a few years. We were pregnant with our first baby. I was like, she was also a teacher, and I said, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like, and we actually met in hospitality. So
True.
yeah, so while I was working in university, I was working at Joe's Garage in Hereford Streets, no longer standing,
Yeah.
and Lone Star at
Wow.
night in Manchester Street, and so that was kind of where I fell in love with hospo, the grind, the hustle,
Yes.
the bustle, and just the people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That came naturally to me
Yeah.
because growing up in Te Ao Māori, one of the things that's absolutely drilled into you is the idea of manaakitanga, which is just serving people. And whether they come to your house, whether they come to your marae, whether they come to your kura, you drop everything and
Yes.
you just put them first. And hey, what can I get for you? If you don't even have $2 to rub together, it's like get them a glass of water,
Yes.
cup of tea,
Yes.
biscuits, whatever you can. Serving your guests, making them feel special, making them walk away feeling special.
Yeah.
That's manaakitanga. And so that was drilled into me. And so when it came to hospo, I was like, oh, this is like
This
second
is it.
nature.
Yes.
And I get paid for it. Awesome. And I was good at it,
Let's
and
go.
so yeah, I fell in love with hospo. And so when it came time, and that's where I met my wife Jess, but when it came time to leave teaching behind, naturally I kind of just drifted back towards hospo. Yeah, but this time we wanted to be owners.
Yeah.
I had developed a love and a passion for hustling and
Yes.
flipping and putting money in my pocket.
Yes.
And so I didn't have any business qualifications, but I wanted to learn and I wanted to be in business. So we bought a cafe, and that was kind of the beginning of the next chapter. And
Yeah.
I guess that was like 13 years ago, something like that.
What? When you say you bought a cafe, was that Joe's at the time, or
Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah,
you.
Joe's in Sumner. Yeah, so
True.
it was a going concern. It was already trading.
Yes.
But this is to give you some context, just shortly after the earthquake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so Christchurch was in a bit of a mess, and lots of people were sort of up and going to Aussie and moving around. And out at Sumner, you had to drive through Redcliffs.
Yes.
And Redcliffs had been
Yeah,
hit
bro.
pretty hard.
I remember.
Yeah, and there were these sort of quite ugly shipping containers, not holding the cliff up, but stopping
Yes.
any rocks from falling. And so a lot of people were like reluctant to go out that way.
Out there, yeah.
And so that
true.
business, the people that owned it, they had their own stuff. They had insurance claims and everything going on, and they wanted out. We wanted in, and so we did that deal, and that was our introduction to being business owners.
True.
So it was 2012.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's 13 years-ish ago.
I did not know that.
Yeah. We bought that business on January the 7th. My daughter was born on December the 14th. So she was like 2-3 weeks old.
Yes.
Crazy. Stupid, in fact. But getting back to what I was saying before.
Yeah, hindsight, right?
Hindsight, yeah. But my whānau and Jess's whānau, my wife's whānau, I have vivid memories of like the day we took over. They were there scrubbing, cleaning. Never once were they like, nah, this is a dumb idea. You should just stay being a teacher.
Yeah.
They were like, cool, you want to do it? We got you.
Wow.
Just made it happen. So, yeah.
That's
That's
massive.
been my experience, man.
That's massive.
Mm.
And obviously you've been in the hospital space since. It's a long time.
Yeah, well, I started at Lone Star when I was 16, and I'm 36 now, so 20
Yeah.
years. Before that, I worked in the malls. I worked at
Yeah.
Hallenstein's, Sunglass Hut, so similar, just selling a different product,
Yes. For
but still
sure.
customer service. I was
Front facing.
14, I think, when I started at Lone Star,
Mm.
just working the late nights and the weekend,
Yeah.
but I loved it, man. I always loved putting money in my pocket
Yeah.
because it just gave me the ability to be able to do things for people and for myself.
Yeah.
So some of my greatest memories are being able to go out for dinner and just being able to contribute to the dinner bill and say to mum and
Yeah.
dad, like, oh, let me shout, like, or let me
Yes.
let me help. And they didn't need the money.
No.
They were like, no, it's all good, don't be stupid, like,
Yeah.
it's parents' job, right? But it felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And
So
yeah, and
the
being able to
ability
buy
to be
nice things.
generous.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just love it, man. It's a selfish thing, and even to
Mm.
this day, I get awkward when people give me things. I don't like people giving me things,
Yeah.
but I love to give.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love buying things for people and being like,
Mm.
"Got this for you."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's and money and that is just a tool.
Yes.
It's just but it enables you to do
To
more of
do.
that
To do.
for
Yeah.
people that you like and care about.
I get that.
Mm,
Oh man, okay, bro. Well, I want to go two ways, right? You said something that really got me there. When you were in Israel and Syria, you said some of these people have, or these people have, the least, um, but they're the happiest of people,
mm,
right? When we come here and we look at what we do have, and often we're the unhappiest
mm,
of people. What, from your experience living there, where do you reckon that joy comes from? Like, what, like often today, where we see people like pursue to get to be happy,
mm.
right? That's kind of like the formula that people are chasing of like,
Right,
when I get there,
I'll
I'll
be
be
happy.
happy. You're like, oh no, but these guys had the nothing,
Yeah.
yet full of joy.
Mm,
They're in walking around landmines,
mm,
joyful.
mm.
Like
Some of them. Don't
some
get me
of the,
wrong. Like I just, and maybe that's just rose tinted glasses, but I do remember just these people. You walk in there and they have nothing,
mm,
nothing, and they weren't miserable. They were
yeah,
happy. They were happy
they're
with
not
what they had.
victims.
No, they weren't victims.
Yeah,
So look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they had their struggles, and I'm
yes,
sure there were times where it wasn't very nice. But I just vividly remember these people having nothing,
mm,
but
for
but
some reason.
but they were all good. They were just
Yeah,
getting on with their life, and they were happy, and they were playing football
yeah,
with a sweatshirt
yeah.
that was rolled up. And I was like, man, that's cool. But I suppose it's all relative, right?
Mm,
Because I was also really happy at that time. But I think if you don't know anything different, then how can you be unhappy, right?
yeah, so there's
If it's
nothing to
your
compare it
reality.
to.
And I think comparing your reality or where you are today to something, if you perceive it to be something more desirable, or bigger, or
Mm,
better, then
it steals your joy.
it steals your joy. Eh, I catch myself
Yeah,
sometimes in that moment.
yep,
You want more, or you want better, or you want nicer.
yep.
Um, but it's hard to find that balance because I'm a determined person. Like, I'm always
Yes,
striving
for
for
more.
more, but at the same time, how do you do that, but
Mm,
also be really not
content.
content? Well, maybe content, but happy with what you've got.
Yep.
Because I've got nothing to complain about, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And sometimes I see like my kids are amazing. They're
Mm,
healthy. They love me. They hug me. They are good kids,
yeah.
and I've got zero to complain about.
Mm,
And then I do see some other whānau, and you just observe, that maybe their kids are going through something, or they might have an illness or a disability, and
yes.
I just in that moment I go, oh man, I need to remind myself how
Yeah,
how lucky I am
yeah.
that I don't have to deal with that. But
Mm,
sometimes it takes that to remind you, like,
yeah, bro.
oh, actually, I'm so
Yeah,
lucky.
100%.
Yeah. So, but then at the same time, I want more.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
want
it's
to
how do
do.
I not
It's
lose
hard, eh?
my I'm ambitious,
Yeah.
right? So I don't wanna lose my ambition because one, like I'm here, I wanna impact.
Yeah.
I wanna do more.
Mm.
There's more in me, so there's potential that hasn't been tapped yet. And I think I'm quite like that. Like, well, I don't wanna die with a whole bunch of potential.
Yeah.
Like that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So you have that, but at the same time, it's very easy to get caught in only focused on where I'm not yet
Mm.
and then not see.
Mm.
And I think that's the key thing is like being able to see in moments like that where you're like, hold on,
Mm.
I do actually, man, I am blessed with this,
Mm.
but often it's like if we wake up and go to sleep and every moment is our viewpoint is on where we're not,
Mm.
then we don't see.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, it's a classic, like, well, I've got to take time. What I do is I try and write something called like a proud of list.
Yeah.
And it's not to be like, I'm not going to gas myself up. It's
Mm.
to appreciate what's now. And often when I'm so like, oh, we got to get there, got to get out this hole, got to dot, 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 dot.
Yeah.
Taking 2 minutes a day trains my brain to go, oh, hold on, man, I'm stoked that my son is doing this and he's passionate about it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that I could,
Yeah.
be involved in that. I'm proud of the fact that I can come home and my kids run up to me,
Mm.
say, Daddy's home. And you're like, man, there's a lot of families that don't have that.
Yeah. 100%.
And so I think it's for me, it's the taking 2 minutes a day simply just trains your brain to go, yeah, there's reason here. There's meaning here.
Mm.
Don't just try and escape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
man.
sometimes it's like I had a moment, very privileged and fortunate. I've just been able to go away to the States. My wife and I took our tamariki, our kids, to LA for about 10 days, and
Yeah.
we lived it up. We had an amazing time, did all of these amazing things, ate at some amazing places, went Disneyland and
Mm.
Universal Studios, the whole lot, right? And there was one thing that was kind of not even scheduled. We went out to Santa Monica, decided to hire some bikes,
Yes.
and we just like rode up there, I guess the coast or the Esplanade or whatever they
Yes.
call it. And we rode from Santa Monica to Muscle Beach, about 15-20 minute easy cruisy ride. And I had my young daughter Kotuku on the back, so she's 5, so she can
Yes.
ride her own bike. Well, she can ride a bike, but
Yeah.
not there. So I was dubbing her on the back. And anyway, at the end of the trip, we're sort of reflecting, like, what were the highlights? And she goes to me, I love that bike ride. I was like, that was like a $15 activity. And
That's it.
and for me, it wasn't the bike. I was just like, oh, we need to get from A to B. I was going to
Yes.
Muscle Beach. I wanted to
Yeah.
see Muscle Beach. But I didn't even realize in the moment that like the bike ride for
That
her was
journey.
like one of the highlights. And I
Yeah,
was like,
bro.
oh man, we could do this every day if you needed to. Like if
Yeah.
that's what you remember over Disneyland, the bike ride.
Hey.
Like, so you do have those moments where you go, oh man, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
So
bro.
I'm constantly being reminded of that. And so I
Yeah.
do have now non-negotiables.
Yeah, cool.
Which I've worked really, really hard to be able to put the infrastructure in our business in order for me to be able to like take my son to his touch games or to his league games,
Yes.
or drop my either one of my daughters off at their dance rehearsals and make sure that I'm there at the recitals and at the shows. So those are things that when we were starting out in business, sometimes I just could not
Yeah.
get away from work and I had to skip out on some of that stuff, and I was
Yes.
never proud of it. But now we've worked really hard, got myself to a place because I just know how important those moments are. Because my mum and dad always showed up for me.
Yeah.
And I was always grateful for that,
Yeah,
because
for
not
sure.
every kid in our team had mum and dad
Yeah, facts.
there. And so that was probably something I took for granted growing up. Oh, mum will always be there. Dad will always be there.
Yeah.
And so for me now, it's making sure that I do take time and protect those moments because they are important.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you're right. It is important. I feel like parents need to, I think sometimes as parents, we go, my kids will value what I think is good.
Mm.
So if we chase for what we think is good
Yeah.
and we miss what they value, which is often just slow time,
Mm.
time.
Or attention, eh?
That's it, man. Attention. We were like, our attention's on. We got to get there. Bro, shift it up a little bit. I want to, I know, I mean, you've been in hospital for a while, hospital through COVID. I know the journey hasn't been what everyone thinks it looks like today. When I look at Fush, right, I'm like, man, what, like, best fish and chips in the country, epic business, family business, like, like you've repositioned a fish and chips, which is like, I don't know, like it's Kiwi to its core, right? Like it's like, man, like this felt
It's iconic, eh?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but you positioned it to be a different level, a
Mhm.
different value, a new market,
Yeah.
brought in Tadeo, like the whole, and so when we look at it, you're like, man,
Mm.
killing it.
Mm.
Life must be awesome.
Yeah.
What's been some of the hardest things that you had to face or learn on your business journey to get to where you are now?
Well, thank you first of all for your
Hey.
kind words. I am proud of Fush. Like Fush is I spend a lot of time, and there's been a lot of investment of time and energy and
Yep.
and money into that business.
Yes.
Um, but we're still developing it. We're still learning, and we've got some exciting projects on the horizon. Just trying to grow that.
Yeah.
But it is hard. It will always be. Hospo is a hard game. Like
Mm.
no one, if anyone tells you it's easy, they're lying. It's not. It's hard, man. Like you're dealing with customers, you're
Yep.
dealing with staff. The bigger you get, the more people you get,
Yes.
and people are personalities, and people are people. They're human, and
Yes.
so emotions, sickness. It's 365 days a year, literally for
Mm.
us. It used to be 364. We closed on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
but now we have an airport site which is
Yeah.
open on Christmas
True.
Day. So it's 365. I got an amazing team which fields out a lot of the noise, or kind of filters out a lot of the noise for me. But my phone is always on,
Yeah.
always on.
Mm.
I was up at 3:30 this morning because our catering business was delivering meals to the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force to go down to Antarctica. It's like my phone was always on,
Yeah.
and
Crazy.
so it's hard,
Yeah.
but I love it, and I also don't know anything different.
Mm.
But I'm passionate about it, and we're on a good trajectory,
Yeah.
and I just want to see where it goes. Um, so yeah, I suppose maybe from the outside looking in, and it's easy to share the positive stuff online,
Yes.
right? But there's a lot of grind that still happens to
Yeah.
this day. A lot of
Mm.
problem solving, always trying to learn.
Mm.
The main struggles have been people.
Yep.
Yeah, we have got the we've got some of the most amazing people that have we've gone through a lot together, and
Yes.
they've had my back,
Yes.
and they're still here today, and they're still loyal, hardworking,
Yeah.
amazing at their jobs. Couldn't do it without the people. Um, on the other side of that, we've had a huge amount of people that have come through the business. Some have left because they've gone on to follow their own passions or their own
Yes.
goals. Some have left because they weren't the right fit, and those are always really difficult
Mm.
conversations. Um, people, uh, people have stolen from us.
Yeah. Wow.
Money, food, time,
Wow.
you know. So when that kind of everything that happens for the first time, and those things are still happening,
Mm.
it does feel like a bit of a gut punch. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh man, I thought I didn't know that. I thought
Yeah.
you were so much better than that. And then it sort of feels like you've been stabbed in the back, or sometimes stabbed in the front.
Yeah. Wow.
So those are always really hard moments, and we've had lots of those over the years.
Mm.
But then you kind of just learn. This is just part of it. This is part of the
Yeah.
game, and the vast majority of people are really, really good people.
Yeah.
There are some outliers which are just amazing, and when
Yeah.
you find those people, you just got to do whatever you can to hold on to them and
Yeah.
treat them well and make them feel valued.
Mm.
And then there, at the other end, there are some outliers who are just there to take, and they're just selfish, and like that
Man.
happens.
Okay, bro. So there's one, you can win real fast. There's a lot in that, right? And I wanna ask some questions on this
Okay.
because um the being stabbed in the back, right? Like you're a person that values people. So you, from my perspective and how of my interactions with you, is that you are often there to see the best in someone, right? You will naturally see the best and you'll see past their worst
Hmm.
and then hope that the best is what you're going to invest into. And so to then, what it does is that you begin to trust someone
Yeah.
faster than what most people do. I'm sure for you, like you've experienced loyalty,
Hmm.
right? You grew up with it.
Mm.
And so there's this thing of like, well, I'm going to be loyal to you. Naturally, we expect that there will be loyalty back. And then you get experiences in your journey where you are betrayed, you know, when someone breaks that trust,
Hmm.
breaks that loyalty. You said something really interesting. You said uh, the there's a vast majority that people are not like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's this I've experienced a lot of people that get caught on I got so hurt, I can't
Mm.
trust anyone anymore.
Yeah,
They must all people are just not genuine,
yeah,
right? How for you did you move like because that hurts, bro. Like when someone betrays you like that,
mm,
that's like, man, like what the heck?
yeah.
We
Sucks.
question ourselves,
Yeah.
we question like, did we do something wrong? Like self-doubt comes in.
Mhm.
How did you come back to this space of no, people are still genuine.
Mm.
Not everyone's like this. When you experience it firsthand, what's been like that's tough, man.
Oh, yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, whenever it does happen, when someone that you don't expect to mistreat you or betray your trust or do something bad to you,
Mm,
when they do it for a good 24 hours,
yeah.
you do go into that space where you're like, "Everyone
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
I got my wife and my 3 other people in
Yeah.
my circle, and that's it. Everyone else can, F off."
Mm.
But then I think that's your emotions, right?
Yes.
And then I think for me, when I'm presented with logic and like statistics, it's really
Yes.
hard for me to argue with that. And
True.
so then I go, okay, cool. I'm feeling something right now.
Mm.
Those feelings are valid, but actually, let's look at the facts here. Over the last 12 or 13 years, we've employed, I don't know, hundreds of people,
Yes.
and there's like 5 that have really like hurt me
Yeah.
and done something that I'm like, ooh, didn't see that coming. That
Mm.
sucks. But
Mm.
then the rest of them actually haven't done anything wrong.
Yes.
Um, and so when I see that, I'm like, okay, chill out. Like this sucks.
Yeah.
And it hurts,
Yes.
and all your feelings are real. But actually, everyone's not bad. Like
Mm.
most people are really, really good. And actually at the other end, and in those moments I almost have developed even more of an appreciation for the ones that are at the other end of the
Yeah. Cool.
bell curve who is
Yes.
like would never betray your trust, ride or
Yes.
dies. And you just in those moments go, oh, I'm actually so lucky to have those people in my
Mm.
corner. Yeah. So for me, I think it's always like the logic brings me back to earth and
Yes.
I'm like, oh,
It's okay.
it's okay,
We're gonna
Anton.
be
Yeah,
alright.
you just need to breathe, mate. Take a lap. And this
Take a nap.
sucks. This sucks, but tomorrow the sun will rise and you just got to
Yes.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You can't bury your head in the sand for too long. Like the bills have still
Mm.
got to be paid.
Mm.
You still got to get people through the door. All of the daily things that happen in our business are still happening. So
Yes.
the sooner you move on from this, the
Yes.
sooner you can get back to the real work.
Yeah,
Mm.
got ya. The, obviously a couple of years ago, we got to work together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The when we first caught up, it wasn't like, "Oh, Rico, I'm in the dumps of things," right? It
Yeah, yeah,
was it was your mentality was always, "I just wanna be better."
yeah.
Um, Sometimes I don't know what's stopping me from being better.
Hmm.
So your course looks like a good thing. Like, let's do it and let's see what's there. Um, that not everyone a lot of people would look for comfort, right? There's a price to pay to always be better.
Mm.
Growing pains
Yeah.
comes with that. But for you, you have this, yeah, I'm not settling.
Mm.
Where does that come from?
I don't know where it comes from, but you are right. I just, I mean, right now my life is really good. I
Mm,
don't want for anything. I have everything I could ever hope for.
yeah.
And literally, as I sit here right now, I am, my family and I are looking to try and grow our business into a new stratosphere.
Mm,
It's not necessary, but it's there. And I want
yes.
to do it
You want to do it.
because
Yeah.
I know what I can do if I can unlock that next layer or that next
Yeah.
level.
Cool.
And so I don't know where the drive comes from.
Yeah. But it's
It's always been there.
yeah.
And yeah, you're right. When we caught up, there were a few things going on for me when I reached out to you to try and work together because
Mm,
I really didn't feel like I had a good understanding of how my brain worked.
mm,
And there were times where I would wake up and just feel bulletproof and be like, this, I'm unstoppable.
yeah.
And then for no rhyme or reason, the next day I'd wake up and I'd be like, nah, feeling flat. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is that? Like
Yeah.
nothing, materially, nothing has changed.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Why? And I just wanted to learn how to control my brain a little bit more or just have
Mm,
a better understanding of what was going on. Um, and I'd also, so that was one of the things that I was looking to try and learn from
yeah.
you was just a better understanding of of this.
Yes.
And then in my cultures all over the world, you hear these sound bites or these sayings or proverbs around like the power of the mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, they can't all be wrong.
Yeah.
Like they surely, all of these amazing people in the world, they all talk about this one thing. And it was like the power of the mind. And I was like, I don't feel like I've got that.
Yeah. Wow.
And so far my energy and my grit, my determination got me to where I was.
Yeah.
But I was like, there must be something there. There's a cheat code in there somewhere. And if I can unlock that, and it must be in my mind somewhere, because that was the only thing that was causing me to feel bulletproof or like flat as a pancake. I was like,
Wow.
it's just my mind.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to understand how it worked.
Yeah.
And then I was also kind of battling with, you know, if I could control my mind a little bit more and how I was feeling, then I would be able to, because leading up to when we had caught up, if you remember, I had come to this realization that I was pushing and grinding and I was trying to grow our business. My wife and I have this kind of arrangement where I focus on the business and growing and doing what I have to there. And and her job is just to make sure that our whānau is looked after. And wherever I can help at home, I will. And wherever she can help in the business, she will. But we kind of have different roles.
Yes.
I just work my ass off in the business. She works her ass off at home, and then we help out where we can.
Yeah.
And that has worked for a long time. And so I had this mentality that it was okay for me just to keep grinding and grinding and grinding. I was trying to grow the business. And I had this thing that I would say out loud even to people, like, oh, I'm doing this for my whānau, like I'm doing it for the family. And, I'm sacrificing my time, my energy. I look like shit. I've lost all this weight, and but it's for a good cause. It's for the whānau. And then like this particular project that we were working on, it fell flat as it does in business. We lost a lot of money. And commercially it just wasn't a success. And it put our entire business into a bit of a spin.
Yeah.
I won't go into all of that. There's another podcast about all of that.
Yeah.
But I had this realization. I was like, man, my whānau didn't need me to do that. Like they didn't want the extra business. They didn't need the extra 100K, 200K of top line revenue or $1 million of top line revenue. My 3-year-old son, I think he was at the time, wasn't sitting at home and going, you know what? I do love you, Papa, but I would love you more if our business did an extra blah, blah, top line. So I had this narrative in my head that all of this work is for the family.
Yeah.
But actually, if I had not done any of that and just kind of got on the ground and played trains with my son or my daughter, that's what they really wanted.
Yeah.
And so it kind of felt like my whole personality was grind, hustle, grit.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was justified because it was for the whānau. But now I'm having this realization that the whānau doesn't want this.
Yeah.
They're not asking for it. And I had to accept that I was the one that wanted that.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that was like I had to swallow
some pride
eat some humble pie and be like, oh, actually this is selfish.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what I was preaching to myself, which is selfless. It's for other people. It's like, no, it's not. It's for your own ego.
Yeah.
And so once I realized that, I was like, okay, I got some work to do.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And I do still struggle with that a little bit today, but my wife and I, we talk much more openly about it now. And so much so that probably in the last 2 or 3 years, there have been things that I have wanted to do, but I haven't done because I'm terrified of getting it wrong.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but now we have a much more kind of open dialogue, and I'm very good at sharing that. She's really good at holding me to account and the logic thing, bringing in the rationale and being like, look, this is something in your head. This is not real. Everything in business has risk. Are we willing to take that risk? What's the risk reward? And if we're ready, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And if it fails, well, it's all right. We knew there was a possibility.
Yes.
But if it goes really well, then
stoked.
Yeah. And her mind, she'll get me off your back. Get you off my back. For a while, so.
Yeah. Well, I think and you said it right. Like, is the one, there are so many business owners that are in that space, right? Probably the ones that, last year I lost count on how many successful business owners who have built some great things have
Mhm.
lost families,
Yeah.
right? Like it's become too common
Mhm.
because the narrative of now I'm out here for my family,
Mm.
and then you're like, well, hold on,
Mm. Yeah.
you know,
My family's not here.
my family's not here,
Mm.
and you're actually just escaping.
Mm.
You're escaping of things that's undealt with at home.
Mm.
And I think one, it's just good to hear someone that's built something of success and still building something like we didn't burn out the business.
Mm.
I didn't lose both,
Mm.
right? But I've now learned to manage. And I think the key thing you didn't say it, but you mentioned what's really good with you and your wife now is that you communicate
Yeah.
way more,
Way more.
way more. And I think that's the key is that, like I'm actually, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Oh, hold on, but we talked about this. You're like,
Mm.
oh, that's right. We did talk about that. Yeah, okay. Like, but no, these days, man, communication in a marriage
It's
sucks.
it's undervalued.
100%
Yeah.
it is.
Like I'm so I think like we've had some difficult conversations, my wife and I, about all sorts of things. But then when you've had those difficult conversations and you come out the other end, you're like, oh, I'm glad we managed to
Did
sort
that.
that out. Like I feel way stronger as a result.
Yes.
And so I've never regretted having those difficult conversations. In the moment, you're like, this is a bad idea. We should not have started this. But at the end of it, you're like, I'm so glad we went through
Yeah.
that hard conversation because now look at we can talk
We're
about
stronger
it
together.
So we've learned that my wife and I over the last decade and a bit of having those hard conversations. It's always best to have the tough
Yes.
chat,
Yes.
and it's always best to have it then.
Yeah,
You're like,
bro.
because nothing worse than going to sleep angry or pissed off. Like you just have the chat, and it's
Yep.
going to be hard, but it will be easier.
Yeah.
And you'll be better for it.
Well, it makes
Yeah,
your business easier.
well that too, because honestly, like I know it sounds cliche, man, but like I just couldn't do it without her.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. Like I said, I was delivering something this morning to an airplane to go down to Antarctica, and she's at home doing the lunches, getting
Yeah.
kids ready for school, and so we are a unit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so cliche, but we are a team, and it's really important that we're on the same page.
Mm.
She's also much better now at telling me like, this is something I need you here. I need you to do
Yeah.
this.
Cool.
And when she says that, I'm like, yep, cool, I got you. I need to put that on my calendar. I need to make sure that I protect that.
Yeah.
And
Bro, can I just ask a
yeah,
question on that? Because that's another thing I see in relationships with driven business owners, their
mm-hmm,
relationship at home
mm-hmm.
over time. So, what I've from just talking to people, what I've seen is that a wife feels really guilty to say, I need you here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Mm.
really good. Like, oh, no, I can't. Like, that's more important. What he's doing is more important. I'm supposed to be able to hold it down with these crazy kids and
Mm.
and what's going on here because I don't want to burden,
Mm.
you know, my partner or husband out there, and so then they become voiceless,
Right.
right? And over time, resentment builds,
Yeah.
right? But they've never found their voice too. Often when they have, it's been shut down.
Mm.
Has that, like, for you guys, has the communication of, "Hey, I need you here," um, ever been a tension?
It possibly has been in the past. It certainly hasn't been for a long time.
Awesome.
I think I've learned as well. Like she's like a superhero. Like she
Yeah.
does so much so well.
Mm.
And so when she asks, I know like, oh,
It's real.
I need to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Because she
yeah.
hardly ever does. We
Mm.
also sit down and we talk about so for example, this year, in June, we're going to Melbourne. We're
Yeah.
going to watch State of Origin 2, and we're going to have 4 amazing days as a whānau. That's going to cost money. So we need to, I need to make sure that there's enough money in our bank account when we go
Yes.
to make sure that it's an amazing experience. We're also planning in pretty much 12 months' time to go and do another really big whānau trip, probably for 2 weeks, somewhere in
Yep.
the world that we haven't been. And it's going to cost
For
$30,000,
sure.
$40,000
Yes.
probably.
Mm.
And so but we decided on that together.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's like we are a team. And so we have these big things that we're both really ambitious. She is also really, really happy to be, the old Batman Robin.
Yes.
She's really happy playing Batman. It's sitting in the sidecar and being like, whatever you need, I got you. Like, if you need me to do this job today, she doesn't want to be the face of the business. She doesn't want to be sitting here. And she's really happy to be in the background and just making things more efficient and drive. And I love that because I don't sit in the back very comfortably, and so we complement each other.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at the same time, at home, she's in charge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to organize the kids. It's chaos to me. I've got a short wick. She's got patience. So she's absolutely the right person to be sitting in that driver's seat at home. So we complement each other really well. And I think we respect immensely what each other brings to the relationship.
I think that's a big thing, bro.
Yeah. And so when she says, I need you to do this, I'm like, cool, I got you.
Yeah.
And likewise, when I say to her, I need you to help me out, there's this thing over here in the business that I'm really struggling with. I need your help. She's there. So we just don't compete against each other. I think that's a big part of it. We just don't compete.
I love that because it's often the state of competition in a household is more common than most people think because we think that I'm only of value if I can bring something to the table that's equivalent to what you're bringing to the table. And if you're bringing money to the table, and a lot of insecure guys use it as a power trip.
Yeah.
To go, well, I deserve to come home and do nothing because I have been doing this outside of home. You're like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
And so I think it's a massive thing to have mutual respect for each other to go, we are on the same page. We are equal in authority here. We're not to compete. We're trying to build something way better together. That's gold, bro.
Yeah, look, it is. And I'm really grateful that I have someone who understands and we vibe about that stuff. I had so many conversations about, like I talked a little bit about the role earlier on, and I know that there are people out there who would like totally reject that idea and they see that as like very traditional.
Yes.
It's not traditional. It's just that like this is she. Why would I try and do something that I'm shit at? And why would she try and do something that she's not good at when actually we've got complementing skill sets?
That's it.
And so she loves to be the carer. She loves to be mum. She loves being, looking after our kids, picking them up, listening to them talk about their day. I don't.
Yeah. I'm
really not the right person to do that. And so we just don't compete. We get on really well,
bro. And this is obviously it's a touchy subject because today, it is very much like, well, I can do what you do, and see I'm of value too.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, hold on. When has dropping the kids off to school and making their lunch not of value anymore? Like, when did that happen?
Yeah, but it has happened, and so that's what. For a lot of people it's happened, not in my household. And I think it relies on probably having some of those are some of the conversations that we've had. It's like, I have so much admiration for what you do. And I do not want to trade places.
Because I would suck at it.
I would suck at it. And I don't want to do it. Like, I, honestly, like what you've just described, it's not miserable, but like, I don't want to do that. That doesn't get me excited.
100%.
And then she goes, you know what? I'm so glad you said that because what you do, no thanks. I'm like, oh, cool. So are we good? Like we can keep doing what we're really good at and we don't have to. So I so much value for what she does.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do the same things. Like money is just money.
Yeah.
There's also a whole bunch of other things that make up this amazing life that I live. Most of it isn't money. Most of it's all of the other stuff. It's the emotional support. It's the being the most amazing role model for our daughters and our son. There's all of that stuff. And there's just, I mean, I could go on and on. Like I said, we just went overseas. Not once did I I didn't even check that my passport was valid.
Yep.
Like I didn't. I literally turned up at the airport and I was like, have you got the passport? She's like, come on. She's like, of
Hey.
course I've got the passports. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
man.
okay. And she's like,
Yeah,
and I've
cool.
got this and I got this. She
Yeah.
printed off the
Itinerary,
everything. I was
yeah.
like, oh, you are our chief. We joke. I'm like, you're the chief of staff.
Yes.
And like, I would be terrible at their job.
Yeah.
So thank you for not putting me in that position. I'm so grateful to have you.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just, we just don't compete. That's the easiest way I can describe it. And that's why it works.
I love that.
And I value what she does. She values what I do. And that's why it's good.
Yeah. Oh man. But I have no idea what the time is, but we're just gonna, right. I just want to throw one more question at you from a hospo standpoint.
Yeah.
What is, and don't out people, but like for you, what is one of the biggest mistakes you see business owners make
in hospo? It's a low, hospo is an expensive operation. So there's capital that's required at the very beginning. So you can't easily bootstrap a hospo business.
Yeah, gotcha.
So you can't just start with like one table, one chair, and then just slowly build it.
Yeah.
You have to come up with some capital to do a fit out or to buy an existing fit out. So from day one, you're on the hook.
Yeah.
Either you've invested your own hard-earned money or you've borrowed and you've got some debt. So you start
on the back foot
with pressure. You have to employ people because you can't do it on your own. So you got to employ people. Your product has to be good. And let's be honest, it's a commodity. Like a flat white is a flat white is a flat white. A bacon and eggs is a bacon and eggs. A burger is a burger. And so you're in a very crowded market. In this particular part of the world, I think we probably have 2 times too many hospo outlets for the population that we have. We've got 500,000 people on a good day in Christchurch.
Yeah.
We have far too many cafes and restaurants.
True.
So everyone is scrapping over this reasonably modest pie of 500,000 people.
Yeah.
So don't think we've got the balance right, but that's a whole nother conversation. The biggest mistake I think we have made as an industry is our pricing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it used to be, when I got into hospo, it used to be 30, 30, 30, 10. That was the business model. So you spend 30%, so you have $100 that come in.
Yeah.
30 of those dollars you allocate towards your wages. 30 you allocate towards your cost of goods. So that's all your ingredients that you buy. And 30 you put aside for your overheads, rent, insurance, power, etc. And then if you hit 30, 30, 30, that equals 90. You have 10% left over, which before tax is your profit. And so it was a reasonably, like no one's making heaps and heaps. But if you run a really good operation, a tight operation, you can put 10 cents on the dollar in your pocket. Now, if you've got huge debt, then that 10 cents has to go towards covering that. However, over the last probably 6 or 7 years, the margins have just slowly but surely changed. And now I believe we're way out of whack. So 30, 30, 30, 10 is like, if you came out and said, oh, this is how you run a business, 30, 30, 30, 10, you'd get laughed out of the room. Everyone's like, no one is at 30% wage cost in a very long time. It's a pipe dream. Now, there might be 1 or 2 businesses out there that are hitting it, but the other, 99% of businesses are not hitting it. Realistically, if you are running a really, really tight ship, especially if you're offering table service, which is when, so rather than going to a cafe where you line up at the counter, someone's coming to you taking your order.
Yes.
If you're offering table service, you will be very hard pressed to get your wages under 39%, in my opinion. To offer good service, to have enough people on the floor to serve the people, and paying them a decent wage.
Yes,
39%. So call it 40. On average, we work really, really hard to try and hit 37. And that 37, by the way, has to include your at least 3% KiwiSaver. It's going to be 4% next year. True. Awesome, amazing, because we all need an extra cost. 8% for holiday pay. Okay, because every time you work, you earn holiday pay. So it's the business's job to put that money aside for when you go on holiday. So it's another 8%. And of course, we used to have 5 sick days. Now we have 10. So all of those costs add up. So 30, call it 40%, which means that the golden number in hospitality is when you combine your cost of goods and your wages, they have to combine for 60.
Okay.
Okay, so if those two numbers combine for 60%, that means you've got 40% gross profit. I'm getting technical, but 40% gross profit left over. And if you've got 40% gross profit, you can pay your overheads and still put a little bit in your pocket.
Gotcha.
So when it was 30 and 30, it was all good. But now it's not 30 and 30. It's more like 40% wages, which means your cost of goods have to be 20%.
Yeah.
Because if they're not 20%, you're now eating into your 40% gross profit.
Yes.
And people are still running cost of goods at 30%. So now, instead of going 30-30, you're now at 40-30.
Yeah.
Your overheads haven't changed. In fact, if anything, they've gone more expensive. And your profit's gone from 10 to 0. Oh, and the oven just broke. So now you're going backwards.
Yeah.
And so this is why, so what owners do, because we live in an owner-operator society, right?
Yeah.
Most hospo businesses are owner-operator, meaning that the owner jumps in, does 50 hours a week, pays himself last. So what they're really doing is they're just subsidizing the business. You don't have a business. You have a really badly paying and stressful job.
Yeah.
And so this, in my opinion, in my observation, hospo in this country survives on owners working 40, 50, 60, 70-hour weeks and paying themselves peanuts.
Yeah.
And we do that because as a industry, we're afraid to pass on the actual cost of what it costs to run one of these businesses.
True.
A flat white shouldn't be $5.
Yeah.
How is it okay that you can go and buy a Corona and charge $12 when you just buy it from the supermarket or from the supplier, pop it open, maybe put a lemon or a lime in there and give it to the person? Think about the wages that go into that versus a crafts person who has to go and source the beans. They blend them. So the cost of goods on coffee has more than doubled in the last 12 months.
Wow.
If you go and look at international coffee prices, they got really, really expensive. You've got to pay someone to grind it. It's an art form. And if you want your coffee to look nice, that costs money.
Yeah.
So a coffee really should be $8.
True.
It should be, but no cafe has the balls to do that. And so we're running on the smell of an oily rack.
Wow.
And that is so and I've just come back from the States. True story, and this is beyond acceptable. I went to Shake Shack.
Yeah.
I bought 3 burgers, 4 sides, 3 shakes. It cost me $109 plus tax, which is another 10, plus gratuity for self-service.
Wow.
Now I didn't have to pay the gratuity, but it's expected 18 to 22%. So that was like a $300 fast food, albeit gourmet, good fast food outing.
Yeah.
300 New Zealand dollar I'm talking about. And over here, I've got people complaining about a $27 fried chicken burger made from scratch with chips in a restaurant. Now it's like, I'm getting a takeaway. It's like, yeah, but it's a restaurant. Like we got overheads, this rent, these lights,
facts.
It all costs money. So I think as a hospo industry, we do need a big price reset, I think, but everyone's scared because as soon as you put your prices up, it's a commodity. Everyone goes, I'm not going to buy my coffee from you. I'm going to go over there.
There's like the fear of losing
and we experienced this with fish and chips. Right? Right at the beginning, from day one, because if you can go into, we all know, like when you walk into a fish and chip shop and the person behind the counter is a family member who's like 10 years old and you're like, yeah, let me get a, $2 scoop and a $2 fish. I don't think people necessarily walk away with that guilt, but it's like, you do know that 10-year-old isn't getting paid.
Yeah.
Right. Like they are subsidizing. They're not doing their homework or being a kid at the moment because they're subsidizing your cheap dinner.
Oh,
so what we had to do was we had to go out there and be like, right, let's pass on the true cost of what fish and chips is. And from day one, it was come up against it. People were like, you're trying to rip us off. I'm like, no, the restaurant over there is charging it.
You're ripping the restaurant off.
Yeah, the restaurant over there is charging it. It's just that the fish and chip shop down the road is far less because they're subsidizing it because they're doing whatever they got to do to survive. But we all know that, like, when you walk into a fish and chip shop, the 10-year-old behind the counter who's taking your order, they're not getting paid.
Nah.
But we just turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah, accept it.
And we accept it. We go, oh, that's just the way it works. But if we wanted to live in a society where everyone was getting paid a fair wage, the reality is our takeaways and our kai and our restaurant experiences would have to go up in price.
Yeah. I think but that's something you do actually do quite well because you're quite real with people need to understand. Like you don't gatekeep the struggle.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing I love about you is that you don't hide the struggle because often we hide the struggle thinking that because we're struggling, we're weak.
Mm.
We want to show that we're weak because people might leave us. But I think you're quite real and like, no, like this is tough.
Mm.
We really appreciate. Like, bro, one time I was like, it was one time, bro, that we ordered. You put a post up just after COVID. You put a post up around like, oh, if you're ordering takeaways, it would really, or like a delivery, it'd be awesome if you could just order through the Joe's app versus because they're going to
Oh.
take a significant cut. And I was like, yo, I don't even know that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
we don't think that, right? But
Yeah.
after that, I was like, yeah, Joe's
Yeah.
app it is.
Yeah.
And one time, bro, I was like, we ordered and you came to drop it off.
Mm.
And I was like, this is just, I'm like, man, like this is, you're so real. And after that, I was like, oh, we got always order from there. Like,
Yeah. No, I
but
appreciate that.
yeah, honestly, man, like you do a great job.
Thank you.
From my standpoint, like the fact that you have staff that's been retained
Mm.
for so long in the hospice space speaks volumes on how you handle people. At the same time, to still be in the space and not burnt out and not cynical and not hating it all.
Mm.
Like, yeah, bro, you're doing well. I really appreciate it. You dropped some solid nuggets, bro.
I appreciate the opportunity, bro. Thank
Yeah,
you very
no,
much.
thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh.